Hey everyone, welcome back to Business Heroes. Today, we're diving into something essential if you're launching a new business or building your brand online. How to buy a domain name without overpaying or getting hit with sneaky add-ons. You want to get this right because your domain is literally your home on the internet. I'm Zach from Business Heroes, and I'm here to show you how to pick the best domain name without breaking the bank. Let's jump in. What exactly is a domain name? Alright, so before we jump into buying one, let's get clear on what a domain name actually is. Think of it as your website street address. It's what people type in to find you online. For example, businessheroes.com. It has two parts. There's a second level domain, which is basically your brand name, like Business Heroes, and the top level domain, like .com or .net or .org. When people talk about getting a domain, they're talking about picking this online address that represents you. Choosing the perfect domain name. So let's talk about picking a domain name that really works for you. Trust me, this part's important because you want something that sticks in people's minds and represents your brand perfectly. First, keep it memorable. You want a name that people can easily remember. Think short, catchy, and reflective of your brand vibe. Here's a quick rule of thumb. Try to avoid tricky characters like hyphens or numbers. For example, businessheroes123.com might make people wonder if it's numbers 123 or words 123. And you definitely don't want that kind of confusion. Now let's talk a bit about SEO, search engine optimization. If you can naturally include a keyword related to your business, that's great because it might help you with search engine rankings. But don't overdo it. A forced keyword in your domain can feel awkward and actually hurt your brand in the long run. Steps to buying a domain name. Okay, now let's get into the step-by-step process of buying a domain name. I'm going to walk you through this as if we're on the IONOS website, which is one of the best platforms out there. They offer domains starting at just $1 for the first year. Can't argue with that price. First up, you need to pick a domain registrar. That's just a fancy term for a company that sells domain names. IONOS is a solid option because they're affordable, user-friendly, and have a ton of extra features. Plus, they have great customer support if you ever get stuck. Once you're on the site, it's time to search for your domain name. IONOS has a search bar where you can type in the name you're interested in, and it'll tell you if it's available. It's kind of like checking if your favorite social media handle is taken. Same idea. Now, let's say your dream domain is already taken. Don't panic. It happens a lot, but there are ways to work around it. You could go with a different extension like .net or .org, or get a little creative. Try adding a small word that still fits your brand, like get or try. If you're absolutely set on the exact name, you can even contact the current owner and make an offer. Alright, once you've got a name that works, it's time to register it. This is the step where you actually make the purchase and secure ownership. At this point, you'll see some optional add-ons like domain privacy protection. Privacy protection keeps your contact information private so spammers don't flood your inbox. I think it's worth it, but it's totally up to you. And once you've bought it, don't forget to verify your ownership. This step is essential because it makes sure your domain is secure and that you can use it for setting up a professional email, like zach@businessheroes.com. Trust me, that's way better than using a generic email. Buying a domain from someone else. Sometimes you fall in love with a domain that's already owned by someone else. Maybe it's the perfect fit for your brand and nothing else feels quite right. If that's the case, here's what you can do. First, you'll need to find the owner's contact information. You can use a tool like Whois to see if the contact details are public. Sometimes the domain itself might have contact info right on the website. Once you've got their info, you can reach out and make an offer. This is where you'll want to do a little research and find a fair price. Domain prices can vary wildly, so if you're unsure, you can even consider hiring a broker to help with the negotiation. And once you've agreed on a price, make sure you use an escrow service to handle the payment. This is super important because it protects both you and the seller from any scams. Basically, the escrow service holds onto the money until both sides have fulfilled their end of the deal. It's like having a trusted third party involved, which is always a good idea when you're buying something online. Extra tips for domain buying. Alright, before we wrap up, here are a few extra tips that can make a big difference. Think ahead and plan for the future. Consider buying other variations of your domain name, like different TLDs, .net, .co, .biz, or common misspellings of your name. This way, you'll protect your brand and avoid potential confusion. If you're really stuck on a name and can't find the perfect one, try using a domain name generator. There are some cool ones out there that'll give you fresh ideas by mixing up keywords and synonyms to create unique suggestions. Why IONOS is a great option. Finally, I just want to highlight why IONOS is a fantastic choice if you're looking to buy a domain. Here's why. They're incredibly affordable, with domain registration starting at just $1 for the first year. They also include a free SSL certificate. This is huge because it keeps your site secure and shows visitors that your site is trustworthy. IONOS also includes Whois privacy protection, which keeps your personal information hidden. And they offer professional email hosting so you can set up that all-important branded email address. Plus, if you're having trouble coming up with a domain, they've got AI-powered suggestions to help you brainstorm. Finally, IONOS has 24/7 customer support, so if you ever run into questions, someone's there to help you out. And if you already own a domain somewhere else, they make it easy to transfer to IONOS with minimal hassle. And there you have it. You now know how to buy a domain name without overpaying and avoid getting stuck with unnecessary extras. If you're ready to secure your online space, I highly recommend checking out IONOS. They make the whole process super smooth and affordable. Just click the link in the description below to get started finding your perfect domain for your brand. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to Business Heroes for more tips to help you grow your business online. Catch you in the next video.